Hi, Matthew. For anyone that doesn't know you, do you want to explain what you do, what role what department you're in, and what your role is?
I work for Synergy and I'm an AI integration specialist. That's my official role, but I'm just kind of the AI guy. I get AI done for the business.
That's fantastic. And have you had a chance to meet with your team much? So they're spread out all over the place. I think we've got Dave in Spain, and you're up north.
Yeah, I got to meet the team. We had a day out together during my induction and I got to meet them every day during team calls and work with them.
Oh, fantastic. And is it? I know you haven't been with us for too long, but I know you've been parachuted into lots of little sort of different projects. Is there any particular project that you're proud of, or something you've done with the team?
Particularly, there's two kind of in the works projects I really like and I really think they'll benefit the team. Currently, I'm working on a couple of AI agents that can perform like mass code changes on the code base. So for example, if you have some kind of like repeatable pattern you want to change on the entire code base, instead of going for weeks by weeks changing every single like 3,000 file, you just tell the AI, apply this pattern to every file and press a button and it runs the AI coding agents throughout. So it changes basically weeks of work of relatively like repeatable information and like tasks into a day. And after that, the kind of job becomes reviewing those changes. And I think that will save a lot of time for the team, and I think that'll be a big benefit once it works quite well.
And is that a benefit for the developers for coding, or is that a benefit for the end user, the claims handler?
Well, I believe both because bigger features and bigger changes in terms like responsivity
Yeah.
and the ability to implement new features, new endpoints, and for the team especially, stuff that would be rather repeatable and would take a team weeks of doing manually. I feel like that would help accelerate them overall.
Yeah. I suppose also just obviously I've got a basic understanding of AI, maybe a little bit more than other people. Obviously nowhere near on the scale of you. I think people's knowledge on AI is so broad, and some people may even just be scared and not totally understand what it is, through to the understanding about the multiple different platforms and the strengths of some certain platforms over others. But from a if you were to explain to a end user, which is our claims advisors, in the most simplistic terms, how would you describe to them what AI is and how it could potentially benefits from it?
For most users, I describe it kind of like certainly you can speak to a book in a sense, and it's a more interactive kind of like knowledge base. So if you give an AI a book, for example, you can ask what happens in that book, how does it happen, when does it happen? And now you can imagine an AI trained on millions of books and suddenly has that knowledge of information inside, and it can answer different parts. For example, a cooking book, it can tell you recipes from that, or a trillion cooking books, for example.
Yep.
And from over that training, it learns how to do different tasks and tell you how to do them in that sense. So it is more of static, interactive information. I like to describe it like such.
So I suppose in context for what we do, the two areas that I put that for people to relate to is one, where you've got hundreds, if not thousands, of different policy wordings, policy booklets, and maybe that's not something we're necessarily looking at the moment. But I suppose there's a way of being able to help understand the interpretation of those policies in a really quick and efficient way. I would have thought in that scenario.
Yeah, it's definitely something I'm looking into right now, actually. Yeah. It's because working with claims, I've come to realize that, especially after looking a little bit into like claim information and like basically customer inquiries, that a lot of people are just missing bits of information on already handed policy documents. That makes sense. I mean, a policy document can be 50, 60 pages. And a lot of this hassle and like overall like grief of people making claims, and just overall it is a difficult process for them, would be a lot more beneficial if you could just ask a question and you instantly have the answer to whatever your question is. Again, that interactive information part of you have the policy and you just ask your questions. Because in reality, I mean, people don't necessarily read like again 40, 50 policy bookers.
No,
It's
unless
like,
of course you're in the claims industry, then actually.
yeah,
But you're right, they don't. And I love that. So if the customer's more informed about what they're covered for as quickly as possible, and what they expect from the claim, it's going to serve them better. They're going to feel less anxious about it.
oh, yeah, absolutely. You can just ask the AI question with your policy document at any time, at any point, see what you cover for, what you can do about it, etc., etc.
Yeah. I also think as well, so that covers that, but I also think there's an interesting thought about not just what AI can do for, our business, which is, claims, but also how it can help the business. Not necessarily just on a claims perspective, but from a business perspective, if we're looking at understanding our business more and how we can become better at it, how we can look at data and analyze how we can service our customers better, and become, I suppose, a more efficient, well-oiled machine that is more accurate with their customers and more efficient with their customers. I can see a place, if we've got the right points of integration for AI in the business, and then maybe I'm making this up a little bit, but I see a vision where we have all these different points of these integrations where you can feed into that and then ask questions. I mean, is that possible?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't know if I'm pretty sure you've seen this. I made a little data visualization platform.
Yes.
Basically, I took with Tom from Synergy about 40 to 50,000 customer emails.
Oh, yes.
And you take those emails, ask an AI to analyze them.
Yes.
I'll put a couple of different fields, for example, like what is the customer's main pain point, what went wrong, what caused the query, and what we could do to fix it. And by having those metrics against like 40 to 50,000 emails, you start seeing trends on like different categories of pain points and overall what critical areas of the business we need to improve on and what the main problems are. I mean, you can imagine that to do that without AI, you'd need to speak to about 500 claims handlers or something,
Totally.
and somehow get them all to remember like 1,000 claims of what exactly happened. So yeah, it's basically an impossible task. So stuff like that could really use the help of AI to really like pinpoint what is happening in such a big business overall, interacting with so many customers.
Yeah, no, I love that, and I did hear about that project, and I think I think one of the great things about that is it's a great example, because once you've got that information, I suppose there's a so what do you do with that information, right? But if we can identify why customers are emailing us or calling us in the first place, ultimately we don't necessarily want AI to help us give us these answers to reply to them. We want to be able to provide the customer with that information before they've asked that question, right? And that's what then creates a well-oiled and a great service for a customer, because it takes the anxiety out of it. So yes, a great project.
Yeah, absolutely. The primary thing, if I remember from that project overall, came out to be status updates, and people are just looking like, what is happening with my claim? And it makes sense, like you want to be informed about what is happening. So I believe something like that would be able to have, and basically you can imagine an AI being like, your claim is in this status, and anything more complex, you need a human.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And as we've got the vehicle Synergy, that information's, I'm hoping anyway, after all that integration, that's easily, that data's easily there to be able to sort of fed back.
Yeah, largely you can already see like basically trends emerging.
Yeah, amazing. If you're enjoying this episode so far, we're looking for guests to jump into the hot seat right there and have a chat. Find the contacts here, there, here. So in lots of different industries, I speak to people and they go into an industry, but they actually, when they were younger, had studied for something else or had thought they were going to do something else. I mean, no one plans to go in insurance. I definitely didn't. People who've watched these before know that I started off as an estate agent in North London and now own a claims business, right? So you've obviously very passionate about AI. I've spoken to you off of these cameras, and I hear that passion. You're living and breathing AI. I can't imagine for 1 minute before you went to university you were like, yeah, I'm going to study AI, and I'm going to own it, and I'm going to change the claims industry, right?
Yeah.
But so I suppose from your perspective, do you had any thoughts about, or what are your thoughts kind of like about when you were younger, what you wanted to do, and what industry you might have wanted to go into?
Well, in reality, when I was about like in sixth form, kind of choosing degree, originally I wanted to do medicine.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. So something over time kind of crept up on me, like, is this the right decision, or is it kind of like, you know how you kind of push or told to go into a field in a sense?
Yeah.
So over time I realized I wanted to learn more stuff, especially physics. I really liked physics at the time. And I feel like it gave me a little bit more of a broad development of skills. Yeah. Because a physics degree, surprisingly, is a lot of computing also. Yeah. Which is something I was interested in, and I was also interested in physics in a sense. I really like astronomy and all that. So I went to study physics in the University of Sheffield, and I took a lot of data science and computing modules overall. My end of year research project was how can we use AI together with little devices to forecast, in a sense, wildfire spread when it's going to start.
What spread, sorry?
Wildfire.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
So in a sense, kind of predicting an area, how big of a risk, when a fire is going to start, and overall how it's going to spread.
That's interesting.
Because having our own ground receptors together with satellites, which already exist, is a lot more of a powerful solution, because you get on ground readings also. So it increases the resolution in that sense of the data. So that project kind of like got me into modeling with data, just thinking about like how we can use AI. And after I graduated, I believe, I just like the ChatGPT stuff and every AI sector really.
You fell into a black hole,
in
didn't
a sense,
you?
yeah. You like hit it at the exact moment. I'm like, oh, I properly delve into it. So I took a couple of courses on Coursera. I released an app on the App Store called Imagine You, basically, which is you've probably seen those AI images.
Yes.
Basically, that you can pop 20 images of yourself in, train an AI model after your likeness, and you can just like prompt yourself in different scenarios.
I do that on ChatGPT.
Yeah, basically.
I've turned myself and people into Lego characters and Muppets so many different
times. It's fun. It's fun. It's definitely fun. So I like those like kind of projects, and it's those kind of projects I built myself with the AI that I think eventually got me into all of this. Yeah. When I found this job, I'm like, the team offered me so much agency in a sense to like think of different ways I could benefit the business, and that really attracted me in that sense. Yeah. What I really value is being able to like create something, not necessarily have a specific criteria or like exactly how they want it, but do you really think this could benefit the business, and could you make it in a sense? And together, like implementing AI in that sense, which is already a passion of mine, is, I believe, what got me here. Yeah.
No, brilliant, and it's great to have you here, because as I said, like we come definitely from the top down with an absolute passion and a desire to be as efficient and service centric as possible, right? And I very much believe that you start a business and you start a process one way, and you do things right for that time. But just because you've done it right doesn't mean to say going forward it's the right thing to do, right? And you don't know what you don't know. But we have a strong appetite to understand how we can really evolve into sort of a business that would be started today, using all the right technology. So sort of being able to get your expertise into the business is fantastic. So we're really excited about the sort of things that, I suppose, educate you more on the business, right? So you can educate us more on an AI. And I've said it to you before, those newsletters are phenomenal. I absolutely love. I actually don't understand half. I'll be honest with you. I don't understand half the stuff you're saying in your newsletters, right? But I read them. If nothing else, I sound smart to my very smart 12-year-old boy who also loves physics. So that's where he got 100% in his physics. So yeah, I thought I'd just give him a little plug there. So it's probably a bit of an unfair question, and we can adjust it if you feel necessary, because you know you don't you don't know the claims industry. You've been in the claims industry for what, six weeks.
About a little bit longer, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to ask you, if you had a magic wand, what would you change about the industry? If you prefer me to rephrase that and say, what would you change about the business, or you can just answer it any way you want, although I suspect you've gone on done a bit of hocus pocus with some AI and research the claims industry, not wanting to put you under pressure.
I feel like, again, kind of like coming back to the knowledge-based thing of, you have a 40-50 page document and people do not understand, do not read all of it to all its extent, and do not remember everything. I mean, there was an experiment actually like about 10-15 years ago by a company. You know, when you install an app or go on a website, everything like that, there's a T and C's.
Yes.
Nobody reads that.
No one does.
And they kind of wanted to prove that, basically. So they put a $1,000 reward inside the T's and C's, like if you just email us with, like, if I remember, they put a phrase or something in.
Oh my God.
And we'll give you $1,000. It took about 12 years before somebody emailed in. So this goes to prove, like, in a sense, people do not read 40 to 50 pages. Nobody has the time to read 40 to 50 pages. So I believe introducing something interactive, something you can ask questions at any time of day when that thought comes to you, instead of like filing between 40 50 pages when you don't have the time, is something I'd really want to implement and change about the business.
Yeah, no, I love that, and I love that example, because I now do read those documents, or rather Betty does. And for those people that know me, know that I have named my ChatGPT app called Betty. So I now just stick those in there and I just say, tell me the strengths and weaknesses of this. And it's great. So I bet they don't, I bet no one would do that now. I bet there'd be too many people claiming, oh, that's a great example though, I love that. Fantastic. Well, I suppose there's one last thing, which is, in there is some random questions, and I dread this bit because the questions are really random, but help yourself. And again, I can't remember. Do I, maybe I pick it and ask Matthew, or Matthew picks it and asks me?
I'll get one.
Yeah.
This one.
It's be safe to say it'll be nothing to do about AI or claims.
Oh, I got to hold it. Oh no, never mind. Just, would you rather have to use stilts instead of your legs, or have wheels instead of your feet?
100. I definitely know the answer to that.
I think I'll go wheels. I'll be honest.
I was going to say wheels too.
Yeah, I can just roll places, like. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, stilts. I mean, again, people that know me know I'm a little bit clumsy, right? Stilts, I'm definitely falling over.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go anywhere far. I'm too impatient. I need to get to places.
Would you get through the door with stilts, like, or anything like that? I guess they're making you taller also. Like.
That's a great question, though. Fantastic. Well, thanks very much.